Instead of wasting your time with some silly little intro before getting to some very mid information, usually backed up by bro science or taking out very low level enemies early game or something, I'm just going to show you on the screen right here exactly where you want to be for the best PvE build by the end of the game. I will leave all this stuff in the comment section below so you can easily search it on the Elden Ring wiki, and I'll also leave alternatives that you can get earlier game, or if you just don't want to get the Fingerprint Stone Shield, which is kind of the big thing in this, there is a relatively good alternative that will serve you well. So I know what you're thinking though, how is this the best PvE build? What about Rivers of Blood? What about spamming this really strong magic attack? Well, you can do that, but here's the thing. You can do a lot of damage in Elden Ring, it's not that hard, but what is hard is staying alive. The whole purpose of this game is pretty much to kill you in cheap ways. This build, however, stays alive, and if you don't believe me, every single boss fight you're going to see here, this is like in-game bosses, it's going to be first try. I beat like the end stuff just first try. I mean, I came close to dying in some spots because I just did not know what to expect. You got to kind of learn the boss's moveset and whatnot, but the fact is I didn't die. I beat it all first try. You might see the weapon change. I use this cross Naginata thing a little bit, but I found that the Serpent Hunter was just better because it staggered more often for the same stamina consumption. While I could outdo the damage of the Serpent Hunter with Seppuku or whatever, I just didn't really want to deal with that. I didn't want to hurt my health at all, really, as well. So, yeah, I just settled on the Serpent Hunter because it's very easy to get, super easy to upgrade as well. The Somber Smithing Stones, way easier to find. And really, guys, the main strategy here is just to block with the Fingerprint Shield. Once you upgrade the Fingerprint Shield to max, you don't take stamina hits for guarding. 100% physical block, some of the best magic defense in the game as well. It's just a powerhouse. Just block, and then with the Serpent Hunter, you can poke with your shield up. But you can also do power attacks and stuff. You're a strength character, so you're going to do a lot of damage. But mainly, you just want to block and poke. Everything I listed in the start of the video here and in the video description is going to aid you in either tanking or doing successive damage, like with the Rotten Wing Sword Insignia, the Godskin Swaddling Cloth, the Greatshield Talisman, by the way. You need that to make the Fingerprint Stone Shield basically take no stamina damage with guarding. And, you know, if you don't want to get the Fingerprint Stone Shield, it is probably the best part of this build. Next best thing, Visage Shield. You can get that, I think, up to 82 guard boost, and with the Greatshield Talisman, you can get something kind of similar. You take a little bit of stamina damage, but not a lot. So the Serpent Hunter I'm using on the final boss here, you might be asking, why am I using this? Well, it staggers really easily because it's a great spear, but also it's got insane scaling. Just insane scaling. A strength scaling and E dex scaling. And you can upgrade this thing super easy because it upgrades with Somber Smithing Stones, which are way easier to find. And you only have to have like 10 of them, and then, you know, you're good to go. It doesn't have a good Ash of War, but it doesn't really matter. We don't really use our Ash of War that often, but when we do, put it on the Fingerprint Stone Shield. Or if you have the Visage Shield, you have a unique Ash of War flamethrower on that. But yeah, Shield Bash, Shield Crash on the Fingerprint Stone Shield does immense damage, so pick one of those. It's fantastic. Shield Crash especially for groups of people, which tend to be this build's one downfall, is a lot of people kind of circling you. So Shield Crash is great, Shield Bash is also a good alternative. And the best part about this build is that it's not that hard to get. None of this stuff is hard to get. Lionel's armor, you just find it. The Fingerprint Stone Shield is probably the hardest thing, but again, if you want to be lazy, you can get the Visage Shield pretty early game. The Serpent Hunter, very easy. You get it from Volcano Manor. You don't even have to beat the boss Rykard. You can just get it and then leave or die or whatever. It's actually comically easy to play this character. There's no setups. There's no complicated buffing or anything. You'll see I have a great rune equipped up there, but I never used it all game because I forgot. So there's that. I'm not even using any kind of buff like that. And you might be asking, wait, how are you summoning Black Knife Tiche? Black Knife Tiche is, in my opinion, the best summon in the game. Cerulean Hidden Tear eliminates all FP consumption. Put that in your Wondrous Physick. Mix it with something else. At the start, chug that sumbitch, and then summon Black Knife Tiche. Doesn't matter your FP. Best, in my opinion, summon in the game from what I've used, and you're good to go. It complements this build amazingly because it uses a percentage-based faith spell that takes down HP by a percentage. So big bosses are nothing. It just speeds up your damage. You don't need the summon, but speeding up the damage is nice with this more tanky build. So it works perfectly. And yes, you can beat Malenia with this build. I have a video on my channel, and you can do that without summons, either in PC or you know, actual real people in co-op. You just do it completely solo. I did some Tiche in that fight in the second half, but not really needed. So the last part of this build is the Serpent Bow. This is for bosses either where the camera is going to screw you up or they run away the whole time and they're really annoying. The Serpent Bow has this unique ability where if you use Mighty Shot with a poison arrow, you're going to poison most targets in like 2 to 3 shots. It's some like hidden little game mechanic or whatever. It poisons things very easily. In fact, it procs the effects on different arrow types like bleed arrows or rot arrows easier if you use Mighty Shot. It's the darndest thing, but you don't even have to really use Mighty Shot. You can just use regular arrows if you don't have time and poison the target and then just kind of let their health slowly deplete, rinse and repeat. I have a video on my channel doing that to the fire giants because the camera and riding up to them on torrent stuff that whole fight pissed me off. Didn't like it. Anyway, guys, that's the build. I will leave it all in the comment section below so you can easily search everything. This build makes Elden Ring quite easy. You guys clamoring for a difficulty selection, here you go. This is it. This is Elden Ring on easy mode. Best PvE build in the game. I will debate that until I'm blue in the face. If you enjoyed, drop a like, rating, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.